I am Bill Fern, Principal of Early College Academy. It is a great honor to be here today to celebrate the 8th graduation ceremony for Early College Academy with the class of 2025. Parents, guardians, families, friends, alumni, and honored guests, we present to you the Early College Academy class of 2025. Welcome, parents, families, and guests. Thank you for joining us today to honor our students. I respectfully request that you silence your cell phones for the duration of the ceremony. Please remove your hats and remain standing for our national anthem. Please be seated. I would like to take this opportunity to introduce and thank members of the District 6 Board of Education and Administration, as well as administrators from Ames Community College. Greeley-Evans School District 6 Board of Education, Ms. Natalie Mash, President. Mr. Kyle Bentley, Vice President. Mr. Michael Matthews, Director. Mr. Dora Nazari, Director. Dr. Brenda Capo-Spitzi, Director. Our Greeley-Evans District 6 Administration, Dr. Deirdre Bilch, Superintendent. Mr. Anthony Asmus, Assistant Superintendent of Secondary Leadership. Ms. Annette Overton, Assistant Superintendent for Human Resources. And outside we have Mr. Wade Corliss, Chief of Safety and Security. Our Ames Community College Administration, Dr. Leah Bornstein, CEO and President. Dr. Russ Rothermer, Executive Vice President. Dr. David Ehler, Vice President of Academic Affairs. Dr. Larry Bukowski, Vice President of Student Engagement, Inclusion, and Success. Mr. Raymond Shard, Executive Director of High School Programs. And Mr. John Foltz, Director of Campus Safety and Security. Additionally, I would like to thank those who have made today a reality. First, Ms. Dominguez, our graduation ceremony coordinator, who has worked tirelessly to prepare for today. The faculty and staff of Early College Academy, who have spent countless hours working with and supporting our students. The District 6 Communications team for streaming today's ceremony and photographing the event. The Ames Community College event staff for hosting us today. And Jostens for all their work behind the scenes. Finally, I invite our senior class to join me in recognizing the ongoing support of the family members, friends, and supporting people who have helped and supported you through your educational journey. Each of them has helped tremendously to get the class of 2025 here today. We thank you. Good afternoon, families, faculty, honored guests, and most important, graduates. Today, we gather not only to celebrate your accomplishments, but to honor the beginning of a journey. One that extends far beyond these walls, beyond ECA's walls, far beyond Greeley, and even beyond your current understanding of what might be possible. You've spent these years growing and learning and discovering who you are. That in itself is no small task. But today marks a transition, because while understanding yourself is a necessary foundation, you are now stepping into a world that is wide, complex, and deeply interconnected. A world filled with people you've never met, a world of places you've never seen, and challenges you haven't yet imagined. But it is also a world of great beauty, opportunity, and hope. You may have heard the quote, often attributed to Mahatma Gandhi, "Be the change you want to see in the world." While that quote is often misattributed, it's no less powerful. What Gandhi actually said is no less profound. In 1913, he wrote, "We but mirror the world. All of the tendencies present in the outer world are to be found in the world of ourselves. If we could change ourselves, the tendencies in the world would also change." As a person changes their own nature, so does the attitude of the world change towards them. We need not wait to see what others do. Let me repeat that last line. We need not wait to see what others do. Let that settle in for a moment. In a world of constant change, be dependable. In a world of misinformation, be honest. In a world where we are sometimes disappointed by the choices of others, be an exemplar through your own actions, because you are not powerless. You are not waiting in line for someone else to fix things. Your voice matters. Your kindness matters. And your integrity matters. And what you choose to do, especially when no one is watching, has an impact far beyond what you can see. Being part of something bigger than yourself means recognizing that your success is not measured solely by personal gain, but by the impact that you have on others. It means understanding that service is not weakness, but a strength. That empathy is not optional, but essential. And that leadership does not require a title, it requires courage and conviction. As you go out into the world, do so with humility, but also with boldness. Open your arms to what is unfamiliar. Seek to understand those who are different from you. Lift others up whenever you have a chance. And remember, the world is waiting, not for perfection, but for people who care enough to make a difference. Graduates, your story is just beginning. Your future will be written with your choices, your values, and your willingness to reach beyond yourself. Congratulations to the class of 2025. You are ready. The world is so much bigger than ourselves. Go forth and make it better because you are a part of it. Thank you. I'd like to invite Dr. Rosa Law, who serves as the Program Director for Ames Community College at Early College Academy, to the podium.
I'm a little shorter, so I got it. Yeah, okay. Look at you all. You look so nice. Thank you, Mr. Fern, class of 2025. Felicidades and congratulations. You've done what few high school students can say they've done. You've balanced two worlds, high school and college. And that's no feat. And it's proof of your determination, grit, and maybe just a little bit of stubbornness. As we mark our 10th anniversary, we honor you, joining a legacy of more than 400 graduates who have collectively earned over 25,000 college credits and saved nearly $7 million in college tuition. Today, we celebrate not only your incredible achievements, but also the strong partnership between Ames Community College and the Greeley-Evans District 6 that makes Early College Academy possible. As much as today is about the diploma you're about to receive, it's also about something deeper. It's about growth that doesn't show up on your transcript, the quiet, powerful lessons that you've lived through. You've learned to advocate for your needs, and you've learned to be patient. Self-advocacy and patience, those are the lessons that will stay with you long after the tassel has turned. Over the past 2 years, I've seen you walk into my office, sometimes with a smile, sometimes with a bit of anxiety, like I have right now, but always with purpose. You asked questions, you challenged decisions, you spoke up for what you needed, even when it was uncomfortable. You learned that your voice matters, not just in the classroom, but in life. Remember those times you pushed back on a grade, or asked for clarity in a course, or came to me with a concern. That was you stepping in to self-advocacy. That was you learning how to navigate systems, how to express your needs, and how to demand the support that you deserve. Keep doing that. No matter where you go, no matter who's in the room, your voice is important. And don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Patience isn't glamorous, but it is powerful. I saw you practice it when a course felt overwhelming, when college deadlines and high school collided, and when things didn't always go as planned. I know that sometimes it felt like everything was happening at once, and maybe it was, but you kept showing up. You stayed the course, even when it would have been easier to throw your hands up and just walk away. Life is going to throw a lot at you, believe me. Some things will happen fast, and some things will take their sweet time. In those moments, remember the patience you built here. It will serve you well. That patience, along with your determination, has already set you apart. You've accomplished something that most people don't experience until much later in life, and that's an advantage you should never take for granted. And hey, if you ever start to doubt yourself, just remember that once upon a time, you survived dual enrollment, 8 a.m. college classes, and the great picture day power outage of 2024, where the lights went out, but your spirit didn't. Do you remember that? We rushed through 250 pictures in about an hour and a half. No retakes that day. Sorry, families. You also pushed through Operation No Chill when the HVAC gave out, the building turned into a sauna, and that burning stench kind of lingered in some of the classrooms. Even then, you didn't melt under pressure. You showed up, stayed strong, and powered through. Wait, I got one more. Who could forget the table tragedy of the Commons? When your seats were snatched, chaos erupted in the hallways, you rallied and reclaimed your chairs. You've already done hard things. Now, go out there and do the meaningful ones. Class of 2025, on behalf of Ames Community College, we congratulate you and wish you incredible success. You are ready, you are resilient, and you are more powerful than you realize. Go and show the world exactly what you're made of. Thank you. Now, two of our student leaders will share personal reflections and offer some words of wisdom to their classmates. These students have demonstrated a spirit of leadership since they first walked into our school. First, we are proud to introduce the senior class speaker, chosen by a vote of the senior class. I am pleased to invite Isaac Bearden to the podium. Isaac is a member of the National Honor Society, has served as his varsity football team's captain for the last 3 years, as his varsity wrestling team's captain for 2 years, and also competes in track and field. Please join me in welcoming Isaac.
Since our bowling orientation day, I knew I didn't quite fit the mold this ECA seemed to demand. But I knew I couldn't pass up on the opportunity presented by this school. That was a feeling not just unique to me, but it was something that echoed throughout the class of 2025. We were different. We are different. We reshaped ECA's culture as a whole. Coming in, all I'd ever heard about ECA, it was for the ones who were ultra gifted, relentlessly driven, and for the ones who would read and write every night until their hands bled, just for a chance to stay afloat. It was a place for future doctors, CEOs, and world changers. Now, that last part still rings true, just for different reasons you might expect. We didn't earn our place by fitting in a mold that ECA had created. We earned our place by breaking it, creating our own path forward. Freshman year, we were told by a professor that, quote, C's get degrees. Now, that phrase wasn't something that just stuck with me. It stuck with many others. Now, don't get me wrong. That doesn't mean we just got straight C's. But while some people were fighting to get the #1 spot in the class 2025, and credit to those guys, they're exactly what ECA wants. The rest of us, let's just say we were very content with our spots in the class of 2025. Besides for maybe the occasional late night, finishing something we all procrastinated on, or maybe some last-minute cramming for a test, we all focused on our lives outside of academics. Unlike previous classes, everyone, and I mean everyone, learned how to live. We found joy outside the deadlines. Whether it be in music, sports, art, volunteering, or simply just spending time with those that kept us grounded. We refused to let deadlines define us the way that it did for those who came before him. We've come a long way, and to every professor that doubted us, you pushed us to grow in ways that you didn't even think possible. Today, on this stage, these diplomas are proof of our success and what perseverance can achieve. Our strategy of surviving ECA was something that I know many previous classes lacked. We had something rare: balance. We found a way to chase success without losing ourselves in the process and finding new skills that are going to carry us along the way. Building that skill is something that is going to carry us way further beyond than any other previous class ever could. For that very reason, I know that class of 2025 is going to find happy and fulfilling lives. I already see a similar mindset beginning to take root in some of the younger classes, and I can only hope that it flourishes into something like ours, because they all deserve to know that you do not have to burn out to survive at ECA. Thank you.
Thank you, Isaac. Please turn your attention to the screens for the senior class video. This video was produced by the ECA yearbook staff and their advisor, Mrs. Wendy Arthur. It's my pleasure to introduce our student body president, Diana Ordonez Sanchez. Her leadership, commitment, and passion for our school have inspired us all. Please join me in welcoming Diana, student body president, to the podium.
Good afternoon, esteemed faculty, proud family and friends, and of course, the class of 2025. My name is Diana Isabel Ordonez Sanchez, and I've had the honor of serving as ECA's first female student body president. I am also I am also a first-generation student that comes from a strong immigrant household. My family has shown me through long, tireless days what it means to be a hard worker, how to lead with my heart, and how to carry my dreams far bigger than myself. Through them, I've seen the blood, sweat, and tears that come into shaping the people we are. On behalf of the class of 2025, I would like to dedicate a part of my speech to my parents and to every parent and guardian of our class. As such, I will say this next part in Spanish, but please look at the screens for an English translation. Mami, papi, gracias. Gracias por sacrificar sus sueños para construir la base de los míos. Gracias por ser tan valiente al dejar sus hogares con nada en sus bolsillos excepto la esperanza de ver a nuestra familia prosperar. Los amo con todo mi corazón. Y a todos los padres y guardianes de nuestra clase en la audiencia, aunque parezca que somos ciegos a las dificultades y a los esfuerzos que hacen para mantener a nuestras familias a flote, lo vemos, lo sentimos y lo llevamos con nosotros. Su trabajo duro no va sin darse cuenta. Yo conozco a sus hijos y me conozco a mí misma, así que les prometo frente a este público que los haremos sentir orgullosos. Ustedes han hecho su parte, ahora dejen que nosotros hagamos la nuestra y cultivemos algo extraordinario con lo que ustedes han sembrado. Now I know I might have made a few of you cry, but before I continue, I have to face reality. This past year has been nothing short of an emotional roller coaster. There were some days where we laughed and we forgot the pressure of intro to literature or environmental science, and there were nights where we cried quietly, overwhelmed and exhausted, questioning if we were strong enough or maybe even smart enough to make it to the end. But even in those moments, we found each other. We found pieces of each other in the encouraging text or the conversations in the hallways that gave us the strength to carry ourselves to the end. And somewhere in between all of this, we grew up. Without realizing it, we closed a chapter of our lives most of us only dreamed of closing. And if there's one thing I've learned, and I hope you carry it with you, it's this: don't rush it. Unfortunately, we live in a society where we are told we have to be the best or the fastest, to possess skills and materials better than those around us, but life shouldn't be that way. It should be about sitting in the moment and soaking it in. It should be about allowing yourself to feel every win, every loss, and every in-between. Learn to let yourself grow into your future self and truly live. Admire the people around you, the places that surround you, and be grateful that you have the privilege to write your own destiny. Every small part of your life plays into your future, so live it and enjoy it. To the class of 2025, please take a moment to soak this in. I'm proud to stand here not only as your student body president, but as your friend, as your classmate, and as someone who believed in every single one of you. Thank you for letting me grow up with you. Congratulations, class of 2025. We made it.
Thank you, Diana. Today's faculty speaker was also selected by the senior class. This year's selection is an overwhelming favorite of the senior class, and I know that he feels exactly the same way about them. This year's speaker is Mike Dixon, ECA composition professor. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Dixon.
Did you know that every time you drink water, there's a near 100% chance that you're consuming a molecule that passed through dinosaur pee at some point? Yum, right? Or how about this one? The chainsaw was originally invented to help with childbirth. That's true. Seriously, that's one heck of a C-section procedure. Hello, graduates, friends, family. If I were to ask ChatGPT to write a graduation speech for me, it would include things like, congratulations, you made it. Today's the day you've been waiting for. You've worked really hard to get to this point. You've overcome lots of obstacles, and remember, follow your passion. Never give up. You know, template-based, super generic, cliche stuff. But I think you want something more genuine and authentic. Something more memorable and interesting, hence the dinosaur pee and chainsaws. However, I am supposed to talk about the value of education and your journey from the first day of kindergarten until now. So let's start with what it means, and let's be honest here. Are you ever going to use the quadratic formula in your life? Is it really important? Says the math teacher. I love it. Is it really important to know what the Hatch Act of 1939 was? And will the scientific measurement for Kelvin determine whether you were successful or not? More than likely, the answer to these questions is going to be no. Although, another fun fact, a buttload is an actual measurement that's equivalent to 126 gallons. You might actually use that someday. But perhaps that's not the lesson. Perhaps there was something more substantial that you didn't realize you were learning through your K through 12 years. Whether it was becoming a pastafarian and wearing a spaghetti strainer on your head, like John, or Yuki's gum Ponzi scheme, or Yami and Valeria's good morning, or Edgar's skibbity toilet, or so many of the other specific moments that I could bring up for each and every one of you from over the years. These are the things that you will actually remember. Ask anyone in here. The memories are what will stick. And there are lessons to be learned in the memories you made and will continue to make. But for the sake of the occasion, let me offer you 5 lessons that you'll come to learn in life after high school. The answers for the test of life, if you will. Lesson 1. Things never turn out the way you think they will. You're going to be asked the question, what are you going to do next? A lot of times in the coming days, weeks, months, and probably years. And quite frankly, it's kind of a pointless question. It's as if you're playing baseball. Somebody hands you a bat, stands you in the batter's box, and asks, what are you going to do now? Sure, there's a lot of different approaches you could use. The idealist says, I'm going to swing the bat and hit a home run. The analyst says, I'm going to watch a few pitches first and go from there. And the timid say, I don't know, and just hope they don't strike out. But regardless of the approach, nobody knows what type of pitch is coming. Nobody knows what kind of bat they've been given. And nobody knows what the umpire will call a ball or a strike. But let's get away from the sports analogy. That's cliche, and I promise not to do that. Let's have some anecdotal evidence here instead. I know some of you have wondered what your teachers were like and what they were planning to do after they graduated high school, so here we go. Professor Withrow. He wanted to be a meteorologist. Mr. Ridgway. He was going to be an orthodontist. We got Miss Cerise. I love that sweater, by the way, Miss Cerise. I hope you still have that. She was planning on being an accountant. How about Professor Howell? He was planning on being a lawyer or a judge. Dr. Law, she went into mathematics and then thought about becoming a counselor. Professor Clay. All right, time out, y'all. I told you he was such a stud in high school, but I mean, look at that absolute juice box up there. All right? Anyway, he wanted to be a chef at a pinball arcade. And Mr. Fern. He studied biology, then history, then literature, then law, then ended up on a reservation before falling into teaching and administration. The point here is that it's okay to have a plan, and it's okay not to have a plan, because either way, life will have other ideas for you, and there's very little that you'll feel you had control over when you look back at it someday. Which brings me to lesson 2. One of the few things you can control in your life is your perspective and mindset, and they will determine the life you live. July 26th, 2021. An Ames administrator called me up and said, hey Dixon, do you think it'd be a good idea to take the composition and reading class from the main campus and convert it to a year-long class at ECA for ninth graders? For ninth graders? I paused. No, I said plainly. That sounds like a terrible idea. Oh, why? The administrator asked. You want me to teach that curriculum to a bunch of 14-year-olds who barely know what a noun is? The line was silent for a few seconds. Well, I didn't look at the curriculum, they said. But I went ahead and did the paperwork already, so we're going to do it and you're going to teach it. Bonus lesson. Oftentimes in life, we have to do things we don't want to do. But sometimes, those are the most rewarding things that we do. August 12th, 2021. 2 weeks after being voluntold to helm this comp and reading experiment, I walked into the classroom with all of you. There was Empress sitting in the corner spitting lines, saying, then the cloud people be like, boom, boom, nah, I ain't tripping on that, no cap, you know? But then the cat people, they be like, oh, hell no, we busting for some mad grub, dog. In another corner of the room, there were a group of boys snapping each other with rubber bands and trying to pull each other's pants down. Then there's Amelia and Jaretti making kissy fish faces for Instagram. Victor trying to break his pinky finger on his desk. Danny, if you remember him, parkouring all over the tables and off the walls. Somebody was throwing paper airplanes across the room. And Tim, he was flipping off anybody that told him to take his hat off. A month of that had Professor Howell playing therapist for me. And me confessing that I hadn't yelled at a group of students that much in my previous 12 years of teaching combined. And in typical Howell fashion, he said, suck it up, Buttercup. It's going to be a long year. And while his Buttercup comment didn't necessarily help, it did make me realize that if I didn't change my perspective and mindset, that year very well could have driven me away from the teaching profession altogether. Y'all are the toughest cohort of kids that I've ever had to teach, but it's the cohort, your cohort, that really brought out the true colors of ECA. We might have given you many tests and exams over the years, but y'all tested the mettle of every single instructor and administrator that you encountered. Admittedly, there were some instructors who buckled under the pressure of your class, but there were others of us who refused to give up on you. And y'all taught us a great deal in the end. Ultimately, be the latter as you move on from ECA. Embrace a growth mindset and the perspective that there is always something to gain in terms of being a better human being in every situation. Another fun fact, koalas, they can't digest their food without the help from a special gut bacteria that they can only get from consuming their mom's poop. It's true. Which brings me to lesson number 3. You need support in life to succeed. The longer you think you can do it by yourself, the longer you will continue to fail. How many of you have ever noticed that it doesn't once say in the Humpty Dumpty nursery rhyme that he's an egg? Lesson 4. It's the small details in life that matter the most. Pay attention to them. I can't tell you how many times over the years that a good number of you decided to skip a writing assignment in one of my classes. You'd say, it's only 10 points. I'll be fine as long as I do well on the 100-point essay. Only to land on an 89.4% in the class at the end of the semester. But mister, I know I didn't turn in 7 of the writing assignments, but I turned in all the big papers. Can't you round me to an A? I could, but will most bosses and managers in the workforce? Will most friends, when they ask you for help and you decide to ignore their text because you're feeling tired? As a matter of fact, when I was sitting there writing this speech, there was going to be an awesome merch drop at Dutch Bros, all right? And it started right at 3 p.m. It was 2:30. Easy thing to do would have been to close up shop, head over to the Dutch Mafia and get my swag. But I knew I'd still have the stress of finishing this speech at some point in the back of my mind, weighing everything else down. If you're questioning whether or not to do the small things that you don't technically have to do them anyway. You'll thank yourself later, and you probably won't end up with an 89.4%. There's so many other life lessons that I could dive into for y'all. Things like forgive, be honest, be accountable, try not to compare yourself to others, don't feed the trolls, don't be a troll. Life's easier when you don't take it personally. The world isn't made of binaries, and Devin's favorite, wherever Devin is, be kind. But I want to leave you with a lesson that I handpicked just for your graduating class. Something that I think a lot of you could benefit from realizing. Lesson 5. In the end, the only thing that matters are the relationships you build. Accolades are nice. Being popular can feel good. Money can help you have fun. But all of those things are fleeting. Nothing, and I mean nothing, is more meaningful than genuine, selfless love. What I call relationship regret is rampant in the world you're about to enter. Do you know how many parents wish they would have made more time for their children before they were grown up and moving out? There's a whole bunch of them in this room right now. I promise you that. How about the person who never acknowledges how much they appreciate a coworker before they leave for another job? The person who looks back on life and says, so-and-so was really awesome. I wish I would have got to know them better. Or the person who wishes they had texted or called the friend or family member more often before they unexpectedly died. Sure, chase your dreams, have fun, YOLO, and all that other chat GPT stuff. But find the people who genuinely love you and love them back. At ECA, we love each and every one of you who has made it to this stage today. May you always have the wind at your back, sunshine upon your face, and love in your heart as you move forward in your journey of life. And now, it's time for me to waddle away. Quack, quack, and congrats, class of 2025.
Thank you, Mr. Dixon. Greeley-Evans School Board, School District 6 board members, and Superintendent Bilch, these young adults seated before you have met the academic requirements of the state of Colorado and Greeley-Evans School District 6. Therefore, it is with great pleasure that I present to you the Early College Academy graduating class of 2025, a group of 64 amazing students. I now present Board of Education Director, Mr. Michael Matthews, who will accept the class of 2025.
Thank you, Mr. Fern. What a great honor it is to stand before you all, the class of 2025 of Early College Academy, and share with you heartfelt greetings from the District 6 Board of Education. We are excited to join you, your family, your friends, and the faculty and staff in proudly recognizing your accomplishments. It is my pleasure as a member of the Greeley-Evans School District 6 Board of Education to certify that each of you has met all the graduation requirements of Early College Academy as recommended and certified by the faculty and staff. By the authority vested in me by the Board of Education, you are now authorized to receive your individual diploma. Congratulations to each of you. Yeah.
Announcing the graduates' names today will be Ms. Stephanie Kress and Mr. Armando Meza. One of the traditions established by the first graduating class is the tradition of each graduating senior personally selecting a faculty member to present their diploma to them. We want to acknowledge this tradition and recognize the faculty members who were selected for the honorary presentation of diplomas this year. You will find their names listed in your program. We ask that all guests remain in their seats during the presentation. We've hired a professional photographer who will be taking photos of the graduates today. Information about these photographs was sent to graduates and their families earlier this week. Mr. Meza, please lead the graduates to begin to line up to receive their diplomas.
Lensa Sultan Mume. Lensa plans to study nursing at the University of Northern Colorado. Amelia Ray Benavides. Amelia plans to study business administration at the University of Northern Colorado. Valeria Chavez Ramirez. Valeria plans to pursue a certificate as a dental technician. Esmeralda Anayi Corral. Esmeralda plans to study nursing at Doane University. Ava Flores. Ava plans to pursue cosmetology school. Zarian Alexander Hernandez. Zarian plans to study nursing at the University of Northern Colorado. Yaredi Mariali Leos Jimenez. Yaredi plans to study biology at Colorado State University. Sarah McDermott. Sarah plans to study art at the University of Northern Colorado. Jessica Nunez. Jessica plans to study journalism at Metropolitan State University. Michaela Olin. Michaela plans to study nursing at Northern Arizona University. Carrie-Ann Beth Reynolds. Carrie-Ann plans to study nursing at Northern Arizona University. Cecilia Rascon. Cecilia plans to study early childhood education at Ames Community College. Malachi Reese. Malachi plans to study civil engineering at the University of New Mexico. Timothy J. Wilson. Timothy plans to study criminal forensics at University of Colorado, Colorado Springs. Jordan May Works. Jordan plans to study graphic design at the University of Northern Colorado. Victor Aguayo. Victor plans to study astrophysics and planetary science at CU Boulder. Riyet Sulem Solis Frauste. Riyet plans to complete the automotive program at Ames Community College. Ricky Cano. Ricky plans to study pre-med at the University of Northern Colorado. Luis Rascon. Luis plans to study software engineering at the University of Northern Colorado.
Caleb Alegria Camacho. Caleb plans to attend Ames Community College. Mauri Naomi Alvarez Larea. Mauri plans to study nursing at Metropolitan State University. Devin Barber. Devin plans to attend the Police Academy. Kyla Bobo. Kyla plans to study mechanical engineering at the University of Colorado, Denver. Karime Kabata. Karime plans to join the workforce full-time. Javier Caxolis. Javier plans to study auto production at Ames Community College. Luke Andrew Finley. Luke plans to study music technology and recording arts at the University of Northern Colorado. Mackenzie Michelle Franks. Mackenzie plans to study social work at Colorado State University. Yamilet Zoe Gomez Lopez. Yamilet plans to study veterinary medicine at Colorado State University. Hannah Rose Grandel. Hannah plans to study nursing at Ames Community College. Tiffany Yvette Hinojosa. Tiffany plans to study phlebotomy and sonography at Ames Community College. Ingrid Isabella Lopez Larea. Ingrid plans to study nursing at Metropolitan State University. Cloroveo Patricio Lobato. Cloroveo plans to join the workforce full-time. Guadalupe Malagon Barajas. Guadalupe plans to study computer science at the University of Northern Colorado. Elizabeth Martinez Vasquez. Elizabeth plans to pursue a degree in architectural engineering. Mishka Omer Ibrahim Omer. Mishka plans to study finance at Metropolitan State University. Diana Isabel Ordonez Trinta. Diana plans to study social work and political science at Colorado State University. Ayana Padilla. Ayana plans to study equine science at Colorado State University. Kira Perot. Kata plans to study art history at Ames Community College. Sonia Ramos Vasquez. Sonia plans to study nursing at the University of Northern Colorado. Kaden Renfrey. Kaden plans to enter the workforce full-time. Dalia Maria Romero. Dalia plans to study forensic psychology at Ames Community College. Kevin Tran. Kevin plans to study computer science at the University of Northern Colorado. Katie Angel Labonte. Katie plans to study health sciences at the University of Northern Colorado.
Sarah plans to study psychology and computer science at Colorado State University. Edgar Arellano. Edgar plans to attend trade school. Devin Forget Bauer. Devin plans to join the workforce full-time. Nathan Gonzalez Arce. Nathan plans to attend trade school to be an electrician. Aristides Guzman. Aristides plans to pursue a career as an electrician. Jose Angel Lopez Guzman. Jose plans to study health and fitness at Colorado State University. Caleb Zachariah McDowell. Caleb plans to study criminal justice and political science at the University of Northern Colorado. Calvin Nestor. Calvin plans to study computer science at the University of Northern Colorado. Micah Steen. Micah has joined the Air Force. Venice Marie Varner. Venice plans to study environmental science at Colorado State University. Annalise Lewis. Annalise plans to join the workforce full-time. Empress Jernaya Wilson. Empress plans to study music and business at the University of Colorado, Denver. Samantha Ray Watson. Samantha plans to join the workforce full-time. Jesus Adrian Payan Alcala. Jesus plans to study computer programming at Ames Community College. Isaac Bearden. Isaac plans to study civil engineering at Colorado State University. Devaney Cruz. Devaney plans to study criminal justice and criminology at the University of Northern Colorado. Cordelia McMillan. Cordelia plans to study finance and accounting at the University of Northern Colorado. Haley Weeks. Haley plans to study marketing and graphic design at the University of Northern Colorado.
Jackie Chantel Martinez Quesada. Jackie plans to study sports science at Ames Community College. Daniel Carrillo Rivas. Daniel plans to complete the automotive program at Ames Community College. Isaac Ansimo Gutierrez. Isaac plans to attend trade school to study diesel automotive technology. Kayla Linkoy Kuumomiti Hiva Kimazuka. Kayla plans to study secondary education at the University of Northern Colorado. Irene Maria Naranjo Leos. Irene plans to attend the automotive program at Ames Community College while also pursuing her real estate license. Caroline Rodriguez. Caroline plans to study fire science at Ames Community College. Michaeli Aranda Bet. McKaylee plans to study psychology at Colorado State University. Maribel Marie Hernandez. Maribel plans to study nursing at Metropolitan State University. Gabriel Emmerich Joyce. Gabriel plans to join the workforce full-time. Hayden Kurtz. Hayden plans to study mechanical engineering at Colorado State University. Abdul Malik Quran Ramos. Malik plans to study school counseling at the University of Northern Colorado. Abigail Childs. Abigail plans to study veterinary medicine at Colorado State University. Andres Guerrero Chino. Andres plans to study finance and accounting at the University of Colorado Boulder. Joel Hansen. Joel plans to study finance at Brigham Young University, Idaho.
And now, I ask the 8th graduating class, Early College Academy, to please stand. Graduates, please turn your tassels from right to left. Family and friends, I present to you the 2025 graduates of Early College Academy. Family members, in just a moment, the graduates will begin processing out of the auditorium. They will meet family and friends in the lobby. Please remain seated until the graduates have cleared the auditorium. Thank you for joining us to celebrate the class of 2025.
You're fine. That happens like once a day.